Hello and welcome. Today we're going to talk about something that a lot of dog owners with kids ask themselves. How do you ensure a loving and safe bond between dogs and children? Because even though dogs are fantastic in families, good supervision and good knowledge of the dog in question is really, really important. So today I'm going to tell you about what to do and what not to do to ensure this bond and to reinforce this bond. Let's get started. Why preparation is key. Preparing the dog to welcome a child in the home and preparing the child to welcome a dog in the home is really important. I'm letting this interaction play and I will restart the video in just a second because this interaction is absolutely not okay. I hope you already saw that. If not, I will tell you why. So this child is blowing into the ears of this dog. I would say this poor dog because this is being filmed and probably regarded as funny because it's absolutely not funny. This dog is not comfortable. He wants to get away, but gets pushed down. Okay, if he wants to, fair, he can get away, but he doesn't because he thinks he deserves to be in that spot on that sofa. This is also why I never allow dogs on the sofa. It's just not worth the risk. I'm sorry. It's always a risk. This child should be stopped immediately. He's just harassing the dog. This is just not okay. This child should be taught the subtle signs of this dog, with the dog's language. The parents should know that this should have been stopped right there. Oh, sorry. We went a little too far there. Let's go back. All right, so it should have been stopped right there. Even when the child got into the sofa with the dog, it already should have stopped. You see it lip licking a lot. You see him panting, started to pant more and more, trying to get away, but can't, just doesn't know what to do, looking away, looking for help to the person who is filming this, who is just ignoring the dog's signals, but that's just not okay. So yeah, a lot of people think that dogs are automatically good with children, but that's just not the case. It's the Disney scenario. Dogs and children clearly speak a whole different language, and what can be perceived as fun for the child isn't necessarily fun for the dog. It's such as cuddling, running after the dog. It's just too stressful. That's why it's so important to prepare those kids to be prepared to read what this dog means, what this dog really feels, and also for parents to intervene if necessary, because that's just so, so, so important. Dogs do give subtle signals that they're uncomfortable. This dog could have easily bitten the child in the face, and it would have been the dog's fault. But come on, who's to blame here? I'm sorry, these parents are to blame. The kid is to blame, absolutely, because I consider him old enough to know better. But even if the child doesn't know better, the parents should have intervened immediately when they saw this interaction starting and not started filming it. Unfortunately, that's the case in a lot of dog and child videos. You can barely find one that is appropriate. So it's very difficult to find appropriate videos. So this one's not appropriate. So getting to know each other when there's a new baby in town or in the house, we're seeing this child, this baby, from the dog's perspective. And I think we can say it's safe to say that we think as humans that this is very cute. Of course, this is cute. But if we were a dog, would we be able to see that this is a mini person? I'm not sure we do. This child, probably just a few weeks old, doesn't move like a person does. While when we look at puppies, when they're 2 to 3 weeks old, they move like dogs. They are dogs. They're not just a puppy, they're dogs. But babies are mini humans, of course, and they stay quite little for a few years. So the dog has to adjust at every stage, and we tend to forget that. Dogs don't see this as a person. They see it as something wobbly, it's falling down. Is it something to play with? Is it something we should be concerned about? They don't know. So they should be helped in their interactions with babies, because it's really difficult sometimes for dogs. This is a very appropriate getting to know each other moment. The baby is in mom's arms and the dog is just watching safely from the other side. I think he is on the sofa. I wouldn't recommend that, but he's just watching this interaction. He's not involved in the interaction. He's not interacting himself, which is actually quite perfect. We don't need interaction with the dog. If the baby comes home for the first day, don't force the baby in the dog's face, because that's not helping anyone. It just helps the dog to think, what the is this? So he usually doesn't see it as a person, like I already said. So be aware of that and prepare, know your dog. Know your dog and prepare accordingly. That's really important. What you want to do is teach your child how to approach a dog calmly, or better yet, how to let the child call the dog to him. That way, the dog has a choice to come or not. Provide a good resting place for the dog, where the dog can lie down calmly and is left undisturbed. This means that it is a no-go zone for the children. Be clear of that from a very early age, and your children will know it. I mean, I know my mom and dad, we've always had dogs, even when I was a baby. And I have never once slept or lied down on my dog's pillow. Never did that, because I knew, or my parents told me even from baby on, you're not allowed to be on the dog stuff, to touch the dog stuff. And I didn't do that. Even my brother also, he didn't do that. So because we were raised knowing, just don't do that. Point. That's it. Just period. No questions asked. So it was really clear that wasn't our stuff. So we should just keep off completely. Always supervise your dogging children in interaction, even if you do trust your dog completely. Even the sweetest dog can bite, and it doesn't need the intention to bite or be aggressive or whatever. It can always happen that a child steps on a tail and the dog bites because it hurt. And when we're not there, we're always going to judge the dog. And that happens like 99% of the time. And I would like to say that maybe 95% of the time, the dog can't even help it. It warned beforehand, it showed signs that it wasn't comfortable and nobody saw it. Don't allow your dog on the sofa. It's just so easy to not teach them not to go on the sofa, to teach them to be on the ground. When you have a new baby, and you put him in the sofa, in a carrier or whatever, and the dog jumps out on the sofa, what happens? What you're going to do is, yeah, good interaction, good association with the new baby. So watch out for that kind of stuff. It's so important, and it's so easy not to let your dog on the couch. Our dogs never go on the couch. They don't miss out on anything. I don't think so. It's just so much safer, because when the dog sees the couch as his spot, yeah, would you want to move if you thought it was your spot, and child is coming on the couch, and you're like, hey, get out of my couch. So yeah, that happens, and it happens a lot on couches. They're so dangerous when dogs and children are involved. So be aware of that. This is a very, very big don't. Again, I don't understand why you would want to film this. This dog is not comfortable. He's yawning. He's licking his lips. He's starting to bend more and more, getting pinned down even more by the neck. yeah, this dog cannot get away. Even now, she or he, the child, is forcing him to stay on the ground. This is not a healthy interaction. Dogs don't like to cuddle. Dogs will never go into into an interaction with another dog like this. This just doesn't happen in dog language. It's our language. It's not our dog's language. They don't understand it. They don't perceive it that way. So just don't let your child do this. In many situations where there's an adult, dogs won't like this either. So there are dogs that like to cuddle, absolutely, absolutely. This dog isn't one of them. um, but I would say the majority of the dogs don't like to cuddle. So just don't let them cuddle with the kids. Don't let your children lean on a dog, pull or push a dog. Also, never punish a dog if it wants to get away from a situation. Dogs can't say no. If the dog turns away or walks away, he's actually just saying, hey, just leave me alone. So we just have to respect that. When you're building a bond, use peaceful activities such as walking together. You can even give a child like a mini leash, a little cord that you attach extra to harness or collar while you keep the regular leash on your dog. Play search games, scenting games. Help feeding the dog, for example, can be a great way to involve the children. Brushing, if the dog likes to be brushed, then certainly this can be a really good bonding exercise. Encourage gentle touch and respectful contact. That would be like the main key. Common challenges when your dog is, for example, anxious, when there are kids in sight, or when your dog plays too wildly. If your dog's anxious, just give him time and space to get used to being around kids. Create a safe place for him to retreat to, really important. If your dog plays too wildly, teach your children not to run and scream near the dog because it adds excitement and over arousal. Offer alternatives such as a play of tug of war with a toy, for example, but with you, not with the children. The children won't be strong enough. Well, when it's a mid-sized dog, let's say 15 to 20 kilos, they're much too strong for a child. So they're even much too strong for some people, adults. So don't let your child play tug of war. Would always be better to let an adult do that. So, in summary, a safe and loving bond relationship between dogs and children starts with understanding, respect, and patience. Give the dog space to choose himself. Teach the children to interact in a normal, quiet, calm way, and be aware that they can live and grow up in a positive manner together. You have a dog and children, which tips do work well for you guys, for your family? Please let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you want to learn more about dogs and their well-being. I'll see you next time. Thank you so much. Bye bye.